These are my two logos. This is my American logo and India logo. Symbols generate an emotional response. They don't always represent thoughts or ideas. They are taught and incorporated through social and cultural elements. Their meanings are taught to a social group, and the meaning and interpretation are passed down to the next social generation. The emotional response and intellectual interpretation of a viewer are guided by these factors. If we know our target audience, we can strategically use experiences when choosing symbols to use in visual media. Symbols generate a social response. Since symbols are taught, then the interpretation of these visuals is perpetually passed on through generations. Media will use visual images to guide and direct social responses. They can be culturally and historically specific. History and experiences also teach us perceptions of certain symbols. It may represent positive things to one culture and completely different things to another culture. These responses are due to their experiences and cultural history. Symbols are a strong visual representation of human experience and culture. It is important to remember your target audience and their history and their experiences when using symbols in visual media communication. Icons. When you look at your computer desktop or your cell phone, you see popular icons such as a W for Microsoft Word. From a visual communication standpoint, it's important to recognize certain visual attributes that are necessary for icon and visual design and use the icon. The icon must be legible, easy to size, from large to small screen, and recognize. Some scholars suggest that we will move from our text-based communication to using all icons because they are recognized amongst most cultures. Icons can transcend language barriers. The icon itself must transmit the meaning. The meaning must be evident to all cultures and languages. Today we think of icons as computer representations such as software, links, apps that we can access from a computer or a phone. They have the icon on the file folder for directories. The meaning of icons visually represent those things we are familiar with, such as items in an office. Desktop icons evolved with symbols that were garnered from the office place. We're familiar with icons from Microsoft, but now we're familiar also with Google for Gmail, Google Drive. They have registered trademarks. A color's meaning is tied to specific experiential contexts, cultures, and countries. Some designers create unique color palettes and understand the potential of a color to communicate on a symbolic, brand personality, or visceral level. So I made these fairly similar since they are the same company. They can be quickly identified when looking at an app or quickly looking for people who travel from one country to another for this job. I made them fairly simple so they can be sized small and large without any kind of distortion. The circle symbol I picked because the circle symbolizes a lot, like a full, complete thing of some sort, and that makes it's a strong shape for a company. The colors green in America and India are positive. In India, green is sacred, festive, represents life and happiness. In America, it's money, growth, environment, spring, youth, newness. Same with blue, both in India and America are both positive. In America, it's superiority, freshness, calmness, water, cleanliness, winter, and coolness, where in India it represents Krishna chakra, Buddhist symbol representative of change, and the centerpiece of the flag. Red in both are positive. Red in India alone is sensuality and purity, whereas red and white together is sacred. The red and the green together are traditional colors for clothing. The white alone is chastity and purity. Same with America. It's purity, holiness, innocence, silence, weddings, truth, peace, cleanliness. Red in America is love, courage, romance, Christmas, patriotism. Blue, but black in America can be formal, sophisticated, high-tech, whereas in India it is negative, evil, lack of desirability, negativity, anger, darkness, barrenness, and death. So putting a black anything in an India-based company's logo, I believe, would be a negative thing.